Hey everybody, KC here. So, we live in a world that is just filled with irony and cynicism, and I don't know why I'm grimacing as I say that. I kind of make a living being a little bit cynical and a little bit ironic, and so I'm as guilty as anybody. But there was a really interesting story in Entrepreneur the other day that basically talked about the fact that, employees in so many places are following a pattern of sort of professional detachment, which is its own kind of irony, its own kind of cynicism. But in fact, the story suggested employee engagement can be an enormous competitive advantage. The title of the story was "The Key to Employee Engagement is Purpose." Now, the point is that employee engagement is the measure of a team member's emotional involvement in their job, the company, and their overall well-being. It's all about being valued and feeling valuable. Those are really important things. And the people on the right side of that equation tend to be, and I quote, they tend to be more dedicated to and enthusiastic advocates of the company and the company's mission. They're less likely to leave and more likely to become vital ingredients in the success of their organization. There was a study by McKinsey and Company saying that 70% of professionals, 70%, noted a link between their sense of purpose and what they did for a living. And when 7 out of 10 people say that they equate their job with their merit, well, that's a sign that it's a time to look for ways to fuel engagement among your employees. Now, they gave basically 3 suggestions on how to do this. Number 1, build engagement responsibilities into leaders' portfolios, right? Leaders have to be on the front lines of modeling positive, engaged, purpose-driven behavior for their employees. Number 2, make time for celebrations and recognition. Listen, it's been a tough couple of years, right? And so I suspect engagement celebrations and things like that have sort of fallen by the wayside. It's not a new idea, but I think it's time for companies to double down on that and say, how do we celebrate people's achievements in a way that really matters to them? And number 3, offer more incentives to employees than just a paycheck. Now listen, money is really, really important. I'm a firm believer and always have been that, profit sharing is one of the best ways to get people to feel engaged in their jobs. If they can see a direct correlation between doing their job better and getting more money in their pockets, helping to feed their family better, buy a nicer house, whatever it happens to be, that's critically important. But there are other things you can do, like really being sensitive to people's concerns about work-life balance, or I like to think of work-life integration, at a time when there's so much anger in the workplace about things like working from home and companies, throwing down the gauntlet and saying, no, if you want to work from home, you're going to have to go work for somebody else. Maybe there are ways that companies can step forward and be sensitive while serving the employees' needs as well as the company's bottom line. Now, having said all that, you may look at me and say, in the words of John Lennon, you're a dreamer, right? But I don't think I'm the only one. I think in 21st century America, employee engagement is anything but intangible. And I think that if you really work hard to make sure your employees are feeling engaged and properly nurtured, those employees can lead to really tangible workplace and business advantages. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.